guys, it's me, AlanaRaihnTV, and I am back with another video. I just want to say so sorry, guys. I missed about a day and a half of upload. You guys, I've been really busy, so I hope you guys understand, but you guys have been so consistent in the comments and in the views. My subscribers have been going up, so I want to say thank you guys so much for that, and that's why I'm here. You guys, it's 6:30 in the morning right now. I literally have something and somewhere to be at 8 o'clock this morning, but I got up very early for y'all because I missed the day. So here I am for you guys. This is, and welcome to part 9 of how I went to prison for the first time in my life, out the country, guys. All right, guys, let's just jump straight into it. This is kind of gonna be a shorter video today. I just wanna get this part out for you guys. Okay, so last time I mentioned a lot of us were moving out of the wing. Sativa had already moved out the wing, and I think in the last episode I said that Nisha moved out the wing. I'm not sure if I said that or not, but that's not true. Nisha did not move out the wing. So let's talk a little bit about once Sativa was moved out that wing, and Regina as well. It was just me, Nisha, and Sonia, and Alexis. So remember how I said the weekends we weren't shared outside time with C-Wing? Okay, so throughout the week, we'd go walk over to C-Wing, and who was in C-Wing? Lala, Bianca, Regina, and Sativa. So, where was Sativa's room now that I think about it? Oh, we didn't even move over there yet. Okay, so anyways, so yeah, so Sativa, Lala, Bianca, and Regina, they're all over at C-Wing. So they will walk over and meet me, Nisha, Alexis, and Sonia halfway. So we'd meet each other halfway, and then we go walk over together to their C-Wing. So now, in C-Wing area, there were like a lot of different people. There was this stud girl named Abs. She was like really aggressive. Like she was trying to push up on Sativa, like in a way like she was trying to fuck with Sativa. Like, yeah, she was trying to mess with Sativa. So there were a lot of different characters here at this prison, to say the least. So there was a day that we were all over near C-Wing, and we saw Tom again, and we were chasing Tom down for our paperwork. We're like, what do you have for us? And luckily he did have paperwork for Nisha. And Nisha was further in her stages than any of us. So basically we were all waiting for our property to be sent to the current prison that we were at, because our phones and our iPads and all of our electronics and everything else that they did not give us back at the prison was kind of floating around. We didn't know where anything was. Some people were getting their like slips under their door to say that their phone had arrived or whatever, and none of us had that at the time. So fast forward, guys, it's like week 3 going on week 4 in this induction wing. And remember, we're only supposed to be here in this wing for 7 days. So going on week 4, Nisha ended up getting word that she was going to be leaving finally, because her early release date was, I believe, like February 11th. So was Sativa's. Her early release date was also February 11th. So yeah, so their early release date had passed at this point. And so we're like end of February at this time. And yeah, so Nisha ended up getting word that she was actually going to be leaving and going to the immigration center. The immigration center was the last step before you were released and on your flight back home. So at the immigration center, they had Nokia phones for you. You weren't locked in your room. They had like a shop where you can go buy snacks and stuff like that, and everything was like super cheap. Like you can get a bag of chips for 50 cents and like a water bottle for like 80 cents. Everything was really cheap there. Yeah, so that was, we all knew that that was our next step, was the immigration center. So we are all just like ready to go to the immigration center. We were also told that we could also leave from the prison. So either way, we were looking forward to either getting up out of there to go to the immigration center, or just waiting for our flight details, because we'd get our flight details before we leave the prison to go to the immigration center. And sometimes people will leave straight from the prison. So we're just waiting on that, right? So the day that Nisha was set to leave, Nisha still, for that whole week, Nisha had been checking and calling reception to see if her property had finally came in or not. And Nisha had a backpack that was full of her Apple AirPods, headphones, Apple Watch, iPad, Gucci belt, all this designer, right? So you remember how I said me and Nisha were on the prison van leaving the first prison going to the next prison? When we got to the prison that I'm talking about right now, the second prison, when we got off the van and we were getting our stuff out of the thing to go into reception, Nisha noticed that her backpack full of all those devices were not in her property. And then so I was like, are you sure it's not like under all of our stuff? She's like, no, I can literally see in the thing, like my backpack is not in there. So the whole time that Nisha was in this induction wing, she was reaching out to reception to see if she got her backpack sent from Bronzefield or not. And so they were kind of giving her the runaround. So come to find out, the last thing that she heard back was that they did have her backpack at Bronzefield and that they were going to be sending it over. So time passed, Nisha never got her stuff. So now it comes the day where Nisha is about to leave to go to the immigration center. She's packing up her room and stuff like that. Mind you, Nisha was never moved out of the induction wing. She spent her whole 4 weeks in this new prison in the induction wing, as I spent as well 4 to 5 weeks in this induction wing. So Nisha's packing up her stuff to leave, and I don't believe we said our goodbyes earlier, but I was banking on being able to say goodbye to her before she left, but she ended up getting called out of her room when we were in lockup, so we didn't get to say goodbye to Nisha, but we were just happy for her that she was, like, you know, on her way to the immigration center. So yeah, so then that was that. Nisha left. So now some time passed, and we're kind of like on the end of week 4. We're kind of creeping up on week 5 in the induction wing now, and it's just me, Sonia, and Alexis. So now the day comes when they told me and Sonia that we were going to be moving to C wing. So we're all like excited to finally get out of this induction wing. Alexis was like really sad because she's like, bro, I'm gonna be in here by myself, like, type thing. So I personally had a lot of different stuff. Did I have that in that wing? I did. Okay, so let me show you guys something. All right, so a part of that Valentine's Day package, I'm trying to, oh, y'all, I am skipping. I can't even show y'all what's in this box yet. Okay, this happened, what I'm about to tell you guys happened before I even got word that I was about to leave out of my wing, okay? I'm sorry, y'all. Let me rewind, okay? Because Nisha was still here during this. Okay, so let me rewind a little bit. So Nisha's still here in this wing. Oh no, Sativa wasn't though, and Regina wasn't. Yeah, right. Okay, so now it's just me, Nisha, Sonia, and Alexis. Okay, so one of my friends from the States, California to be exact, had came to the UK to visit me in prison. Yes, guys, my friend came all the way from the States to visit me in the UK. So she had actually ended up visiting me twice while she was out there. So I remember the first time that I had a visit with her. Oh my gosh, I was so excited. Okay, so the day comes of my first visit with her, right? And so, you know, I'm getting ready, getting myself together, whatever. And then they finally came to my cell to grab me, to walk me down to the visiting area. So when you walk down to the visiting area, of course, we're going through all these different gates, and we are in line now to be checked to make sure that we don't have anything, and to make sure that they have to account for everything that we have on, like jewelry. They'll say like 2 earrings, 1 nose ring, 1 this piercing, these color socks, because we'd have to come back with all of those things. Like, there was no giving our visitors anything. There was obviously no visitors giving us things, to a certain extent, right? Because I actually did end up getting a care package, during the second, was it the first visit or the second visit that she did? It was the first visit. Okay, so yeah, so getting checked in and stuff, you know, they're checking like, oh, I got this person, that person. We had to take off our shoes. They had to feel our feet, make sure there was nothing in there, whatever. So all the prisoners get checked in, and then we go into the visiting room and we all find our table. So like they say, like, I'm at table 7, so I go find table 7, sit at table 7. So it was just a bunch of chairs with a table in the middle. And so like a small table. So all the prisoners were now seated waiting for their guests to come in one at a time. So we're all sitting here waiting for our guests, and then we can't see the guests walk in because it's like blocked off. So you just see like the door open from where the visitors are coming in. You see the door open, and then you just see like the shadow of someone walking through this blocked off area. And then once they peek the corners, you see who it is. So people were coming. You'd see everyone around when they recognize their people, they get all excited and be like, ah, like, and so I'm just sitting here waiting, like, when's my turn, right? So I'm just like, everyone around me's visitors is coming, and I'm just getting so anxious. I was getting so anxious. So then the door opens again, someone comes around, and then when they finally pick the corner, I see it's my friend, and I'm so excited, so excited. So I was like really excited to see her, and she had these 2 big old bags in her hand, like she just went shopping at Neiman Marcus. So she ended up giving those 2 bags to the guard, and then she had ended up giving the paper that they needed, and then she came and sat down. I gave her a hug and stuff like that. It was just so good to see her, and we were just talking, and then she was just basically saying how, oh my gosh, she's so sweet. She was just basically saying how she got me some clothes. This girl got me bedding, which I'm gonna show you because like we had duvets there. Luckily, we did not have like really thin blankets or anything. We had like decent cush on the bed. It was kind of hard, I'm not gonna lie. The bed was kind of hard, but it was like a decent cush. But we had these big old duvet covers, and so she had ended up getting me this cute pink unicorn duvet cover. If y'all know me, y'all know I love unicorns and I love pink. So she got me this really cute duvet cover to cover my blanket pillowcase set, and then she got me a ton of sweatpants, ton of shirts, underwear, sports bras, socks. She even got me a pair of Nike shoes, guys. Like, I actually still have those shoes. Let me show you. Y'all, I was styling and profiling in this place. She brought me these shoes. They're a little bit dirty now because I wear them at the gym. And let me show you guys the bedding that I had while I was in this prison. I'm still going to draw a diagram, but I'm going to draw a diagram of the new room that I moved into. We're still in the first room in induction wing right now. So this is the pillowcase to the bedding that I had, guys. So this was my bedding in there. So you walk in my room, this is what my bed looked like, okay? Pillows, bed. I had pink curtains up in there. I had my pictures that I drew on the wall, all this good stuff. So this is my bedding, guys. So yeah, so she came and she brought me all that stuff, and it was just like, it was so surreal seeing someone that I knew so close to from the States here in this UK prison that I've been in for now, what, 2 months? 2 months and some change, 2 months and a couple weeks at this time when she had came to visit me. So we're talking, I'm catching her up, and then, you know, she asked me if I want snacks because they do have a concession stand in the visiting area, but the only thing is I wasn't able to stand up to go to the line. So she asked me what I wanted, I told her what I wanted, and then she went, stood in the line, got us our snacks, and I wish that we were able to take the snacks back to ourselves, but we weren't. We whatever we ordered there, we had to eat there. So it's just like, oh, like I wanted to take so much stuff back because they have like Twix and like American snacks and stuff like that, but we couldn't. We had to eat whatever we were gonna buy right then and there. So the visit went on for, I want to say, an hour. It went on for an hour. And so once the guard said, like, you know, it's time to start wrapping it up. Everybody say your goodbyes. I started getting very emotional because it's just the thought of her. Like, I know her. This is my friend. Like, I'm leaving with her. What you mean? So just the thought and the feeling that she was about to leave, and I couldn't leave with her. Like, I didn't have the choice to leave this building, but she did. It did something to me. So as she was getting ready to leave and we were saying our goodbyes, I really tried not to cry. I tried not to cry. I did. I tried. But I cried. I cried hard because I was just so sad. I was like, I want to go with you. So she ended up leaving. And then I went back to my room, and if I'm not mistaken, I don't think they gave me the bagged items that she brought that same day. I want to say that they gave it to me the next day because they had to check it and do whatever they do best. So, boom. So I get back to my room, and then the next day comes, and then they give me the bags. And so she also got me some towels as well, long pink towels, hand scrubby gloves to wash up with and stuff like that. She really came through, I'm not gonna lie. She was a huge support system too while I was down. She actually helped pay my rent while I was away. And yes, I paid her back, y'all, because I really appreciated everything that she did for me while I was away. So now next day comes, I get my stuff. My girls are in my room now, and I'm just showing them everything that I got. I was like, y'all, look at this stuff. Blah, blah, blah. So showing them everything that I got. Everything was all cool. That was cool. Did I miss any? Oh yeah, so then fast forward a couple of the days, I had my last visit with her. It kind of went the same way. Went in there and saw her. And by the way, she came trim to these visits, okay? She was looking tea. So she came and we had our last visit, and it went great, just like the first one did. And yeah, when she left, it was really sad that time because I knew that I wasn't gonna see her again for a while. And so that was just a crazy time. I'm just so glad that she came to visit me though. Like, that meant the world. So she also sent a Black activist to come visit me as well. So do you guys remember the Black activist that I told you that sat in on my court hearing, that she had come sit in on my court hearing? Yes. So she also had her come up to the prison to visit me. So I want to say maybe a week and some change after she had came to visit me, the Black activist had came to visit me. Her name is Lee Barkley, and shout out to Lee because she, I want to say, is a nonprofit, and it really meant a lot for someone from the UK who had already, a Black woman at that, who had already been through this experience that I had been through, who was giving me insight about, like, you know, you're going to be okay, and just giving me a lot of different insight about, like, just certain things. And it's always a good feeling to have someone on your side in a time like that, and, you know, giving you good advice at a time like that. And so I really, really appreciate her and my friend for that greatly and deeply. So let's fast forward now back to the time, like I said, Nisha left now, and then now we're coming up to the day where me and Sonia are supposed to be transferred to the next wing. So mind you, I kind of want to throw in there too, guys, every day I was trying to get myself together. I was doing my hair with the products that Sana gave me. I'd get dressed in the stuff that Utopia gave me. So every day I was trying to look good, you know, look good, feel good, look good type vibe. So anyways, fast forward the day that me and Sonia are getting moved from this induction wing. So they ended up coming to my room, letting me know that to pack up all my stuff because we're going to be moving to C Wing. Now that you guys kind of have an idea of how much stuff that I had in that room, you guys know I had a lot of stuff to pack up. By this point, I was also sent in some books from my friends back home. They sent me some Goodreads. And, you know, like I said, I had all those clothes that my friend had came and brought me, had shoes. And by the way, at that prison, they did give us like windbreaker jackets and other shoes and stuff like that. So I had a lot of products from Sana. I had a lot of snacks from Commissary. I had a lot of stuff to take with me to the next wing. So much so, I ended up using my own like the whole dolly. I took up the whole freaking trolley. Yeah, so I'm packing up all of my stuff or whatever, and I have bags on bags of stuff. One of the officers was even like, dang girl, like why you got so much stuff? And I'm just like, I just do. Oh, I keep forgetting stuff, y'all, but it's okay. Like, y'all don't want to be left hanging either. So, that time while I was in the induction wing, I want to say it was the first week that we had even got there. There was this prisoner named Laura. She had ended up coming up to us with these diamond paintings, asking basically if we wanted to buy one. And what she meant by that was the vape oils. We'd give her 2 vape oils in exchange for these diamond paintings that she had. So the diamond paintings were for you to do yourself. So if you guys ever seen those pictures where the numbers correlate with the color, so if you have like a picture of a cat that you're supposed to color in, and then it has like a lot of 1s everywhere, has a lot of 2s and 3s everywhere, they say 1 is brown, 2 is purple, and 3 is pink. So whatever number is 3, you color in pink. Whatever number is 2, you color in purple, whatever. So that's what this diamond painting was, except for it had like over 10,000 empty spaces for you to stick on diamonds, different colored diamonds. So basically once you're done sticking on all those tiny little diamonds, it ends up making a picture. And so that's just something that I thought was cool to be able to pass the time. So I wanted one. She had this really cute pink and purple sunset one. And like I said, it had 10,000 different spots for you to individually put 10,000 different studs of diamonds to create a picture. And so I was like, I have nothing but time. This would be something cool to pass my time. And so I ended up buying one, and I was working on that for the whole time that I was in A wing, and I ended up finishing it before we moved to the other wing, and I'm really proud of it. So let me show you guys it. Give me a second. All right, guys, it's a little dusty. Hold on. Y'all can't see the shimmer because it's in the frame. Hold on. All right, y'all, this is it. Wait, it's upside down. Okay, this is it, y'all. I literally hand studded every last one of these diamonds. Are hand pressed by me. Every last one of them. Every last one of them. So this came out really cool. This was something that I'd actually really love to do on my free time here back home, but I don't have that much free time. I don't even understand how these exist outside of the prison system, because baby, the time that it took me to do this, I don't be having time. It would take me a whole year to finish this back home with how busy I am, y'all. I don't know how they manage that, but yeah. All right, guys. So yeah, so I had so much stuff to move from this cell to the other cell. So including that diamond painting was very fragile, my plants, my flowers. So I had a bunch of stuff in this, I had like 3 large, heavy trash bags full of stuff that I put in this trolley, and I put all of my fragile stuff on top. So there was no room for real for nobody else's stuff in there. But we ended up putting someone's stuff on the other side, like, because they didn't have that much stuff. So, boom. So they're packing up me and Sonia, and I want to say there was another prisoner that they were packing up with us as well. So, we packing up all of our stuff or whatever. Man, when I tell you, this officer came to me to say, unfortunately, you're not moving today. And I was just like, bro, what is it with y'all? With coming up to us, telling us that we're moving, having us pack up our whole entire cells, and then telling us that we're not moving. Like, I remember the second time that they had ended up having to tell Sativa that she was not moving. One of the guards that was one of our favorites, he had actually came up to me and was like, yeah, so Sativa's actually not moving today. But of course he said her real name. But he's like, Sativa's not moving today. He's like, I'm kind of scared to go tell her. And I was like, well, good luck. He's like, yeah, I'm going to need it. He was scared to even go tell her that she wasn't moving no more. But that was like before. But yeah, so now they're telling me that I'm not moving. I'm just like, bro, are you serious? Like, I've been in this wing for so long. I'm so over it. And so then I had ended up getting unlocked. And then I walked over to Sonia's room, and I seen Sonia was still packing. And I told her, I said, girl, why they say we're not even moving today? She was like, what? Are you serious? And I was like, girl, yes. Like, this is childish. So some days passed and some days passed, and then they came up to us again and basically said that we were really actually moving this time. And I was like, no, like y'all play too much. Like y'all really pissing me off. Like, and that happened to Nisha as well. But with Nisha, when she ended up packing her stuff, being told that she was moving to another wing, she just never unpacked her stuff. So when the time came around for her to actually leave to the immigration center, all her stuff was already packed. She don't require too much. She like a tomboy for real, so she don't require much. Yeah, so I was just frustrated about how, because I unpacked my stuff. They told me not to, but I didn't care. I unpacked my stuff, and I'm glad that I did, because we had ended up being there, because like I said, we're on week 4 at this time. We had ended up being there for a whole nother week before we were even moved out of that wing, y'all. So packing up my stuff for the second time now. Packing up my stuff, and then they actually came, or Miss Davis was the black lady officer that got into it with Sativa, right? So she had came over to me and was like, I'm gonna see it that you moved today. Like, you're for surely gonna move today. Like, we're not gonna, and like, you know, she kept promising me that. And if I'm not mistaken, we did not move that day, but we did say that they did tell us that we were for surely moving tomorrow. So basically another letdown. They was like, unfortunately, you're not moving tonight because it got late or whatever. And they were like, but for sure tomorrow. And I was just like, oh, so irritating. Get me out of here. So boom, next day comes and it's finally time. Well, actually the next day comes and we went about the whole day like normal, and then nighttime is approaching, and I started getting nervous because here we are again creeping up on the nighttime, and they said it was too late last time. So because of they didn't have much staff at night or something. So I see Miss Davis and I'm just like, what's going on? Like, are we still moving? She's like, yes. So finally she ended up coming back to my cell. It was like maybe like 8 o'clock at night, and she ended up unlocking me, unlocking another prisoner, and unlocking Sonia. And she was like that the trolley is on its way and blah blah blah. So she ends up coming with the trolley. I end up loading all of my stuff in the trolley. Sonia loaded her stuff in there, and then there was another prisoner who had only a little bit of stuff and loaded it in there. So then we pushed the trolley all the way to C wing, which is a bit of a push coming from A wing. So you got to cross this whole courtyard, pass up the gym, and then now you're in a C wing area. So you guys remember how I said C wing had north and south. So me and Sonia were told that we were going to be on, we were told that we were going to be on the north side on the 3rd floor. Was it the 3rd floor, 4th floor? 3rd floor, 2nd floor, 2nd floor. Yeah, so we were told that we were going to be on the north side, 2nd floor, and then the other prisoner was going on the other side. And so I was just really happy that me and Sonia were going to be on the same side, same floor. We didn't know where our cells were going to be at in this wing. We just were glad to be in the same side, in the same floor. So we pushed the dolly in, and now there's no elevators right there. There's only stairs. So we weren't, I mean, I don't even think there were elevators in this prison at all, now that I think about it. That's actually crazy. But yeah, so we pushed the trolley to the end of the stairs, and then I had to basically lift these heavy bags all the way up the stairs, one by one. So I took a couple of trips, and by the time I was down to like one of my last trips, the guard and there was another prisoner that was helping us or whatever, they were like, how many more trips? She was like, how many more trips do you have? And I was like, at least like 2 more. She was at the door that was on our wing. So I was like, at least 2 more trips or whatever. So once all of my stuff was up there, they had opened now the door to the wing that we're gonna be in. And it was so claustrophobic. I'm telling you, like, as soon as you walk in, it's just like wall. And then you look right, it's a hall of rooms. You look left, you go down like 2 stairs, and then left is a wall. But then when you walk to that wall and then you look right, it's a whole nother hallway full of rooms. So my room was, when you first walk in, you go left down the little stairs, and then you turn right, it's a hall of rooms. And by the way, when you turn left down those stairs and you hit that corner, there's a there is a, what is it called? There's a the office is there with the prison officers are in this office, right? So that was in that corner, and then you go right, and my room was down there. So we were told previously by people that were moving to C Wing or that they were in C Wing that the heaters work way better over there, because we did have heaters in our room, but I don't even know if they were really I don't know if they were really heaters for real, or if we just called them heaters, because they were really just like, I feel like it was the piping and the plumbing. It was a bar that was in our room that got super hot, so hot that when we would wash our underwear or anything that we washed out by hand, we'd put like a towel right there, and then we put our underwear over it to dry, because it would literally dry our underwear like that. It would dry our clothes like that. So that's what we used to dry our clothes. But yeah, it got really hot, like, or whatever. So in our cells that we were in the induction wing, we were always really cold. Like, it was just really cold in there all the time. And so they were telling us when we moved over to C Wing that the heaters were better, whatever. Okay. So why they were like, okay, this is going to be your room. So then I go in there. I couldn't breathe. I could not breathe. You guys, it was so hot and stuffy in this room. Y'all, I literally could not breathe for real. The window in there was closed. So immediately I opened the window. Y'all, I could not take it so bad that I told them, I said, hey, I think y'all need to move me rooms somewhere that's closer to like a breezeway window somewhere. So they kind of took me to go look at a few other rooms. And so when I went to go look at the other I said rooms. Somebody commented how I be saying like rooms, my room, because like, y'all, it looked like a room. Like, it didn't look like no dang cell, but it was a cell. So basically they took me to look at the other cells, and they were just as hot. So I was like, okay, well, it's no point of me moving to these cells when they're all hot. So as I'm going back to the original cell that they went to put me in, I noticed Regina's room is right next door. If there's like one person's room in between me and Regina's, but I noticed on the way back Regina's room. So I opened up her flap and she looked, and I was like, ah! And she was like, ah! So I was just super happy to be back next to one of my girls. So yeah, Regina's room was there. There was someone in between us, and then there was my room. So I really did not like this cell. I really liked my other cell better, because my other cell, the toilet was by the door and my bed was on the whole opposite side of the cell. Now this cell, my bed and toilet were parallel. Like, the head of my bed, and when I say the head of my bed, I mean because the TV is at the foot of the bed. So it wouldn't make sense for me to put my head on the opposite side where the toilet is not, because the TV is behind me. So the head of my bed is towards, like, if you're in the doorway of the cell and you're looking at the far wall, that's where the head of my bed was, in the right corner. And then in the left corner was the toilet. Y'all, the toilet was so close to my bed, I can literally lay down in bed, reach over like this, and touch the toilet. Literally. So I'm gonna get into later what I did to punk this room out and to hide that toilet, because baby, we were not sleeping with the toilet. We weren't doing that. I did not want to do that. Wasn't having it. So I'm gonna get into it in more detail later, but I'm gonna touch on it right now. So I had ended up taking off the curtain from the window because it was a makeshift curtain. Everyone was given curtains, blackout curtains in this prison, but for whatever reason, my cell, it did not have those blackout curtains. It had like a piece of fabric that someone must have got from Glad Rags, or I don't know. It looked like a muumuu that they opened up in the side and made a curtain. So what I did was I took that down and I draped it over my toilet. So I ended up making a toilet curtain, basically, so you couldn't see the toilet. If you wanted to use the toilet, you would have to move the curtain, and then you could use the toilet, and then you close the curtain back, because I was not trying to look at this toilet, y'all. So all right, y'all, it is about that time. I am cutting it very close for time right now, but I just had to get out a part for you guys. So stay tuned, guys, for part 10 when I tell you guys when Regina finally came out of her room and realized that we were neighbors. I'm gonna tell you guys also about some craziness that happened in this. It's a lot of stuff that I have to tell y'all in the next part, but I do want to leave y'all with a cliffhanger. So I will be mentioning the update with Cam and Regina's relationship. I'm gonna insert a diagram of how my room looked like, y'all. And I'm gonna leave you, it's gonna be a mystery what else we talk about because I can't really put my finger on it right now, guys. But just know that next episode is going to be juicy, okay? It's gonna be juicy and it's gonna be long. So stay tuned for that, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching part 9 of how I went to prison for the first time ever in my life. Stay tuned for part 10, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Love you guys. Peace.
Go trim, cut it, get it on film. 4 course meal, she ate up the drip. She wanna go through that, yeah.